Hey there, and welcome to the second learning module of the Student Leadership Challenge Essentials for New Professionals. This module covers the practice of Model the Way. Before we start exploring the 5 practices of exemplary leadership, it's important to note that there is no particular order to studying or practicing the 5 practices. However, each of the 5 practices logically build on and support the next one. How you choose to demonstrate the behaviors within each practice will vary depending on the situation and the people you hope to engage. To help you better understand each practice, we'll explore each one in detail in the order they were created. So now, let's dive into Model the Way. Think back to the Orienteering Learning module when we first explored the 8 core concepts of leadership, discussed the definition of leadership, and finally, wrapped up with a look at the foundation of leadership, credibility. Where our last discussion ended is right where Model the Way picks up. This practice is all about what it takes to be believable and authentic as a leader. As you now know, these are the qualities that help establish leader credibility because it provides that solid foundation from which everything else is built. But the top characteristics of admired leaders alone doesn't help to explain where credibility begins. In fact, being authentic and believable starts with the leaders being clear on the values they hold and ends with consistently aligning their actions with those values. Over time, this consistency helps others believe in them and trust that they will be true to their word. After all, trust is the leader's currency. With it, leaders can build groups that work together towards the future, but without it, they walk alone. For each of the 5 practices of exemplary leadership, there are 2 essential commitments. The first refers to your thinking as a leader, your frame of mind, and how you make decisions. The second refers to the actions you take as a leader. With that in mind, let's explore the first commitment of Model the Way. Clarify values by finding your voice and affirming shared values. So, what is a value? Well, it's a deeply held belief about what you view as important in the world. Values reflect what a leader believes in and what he or she stands for. Everyone has values, whether you can consciously articulate them or not. If you're not clear on what your values are, or you aren't sure how to communicate them, now is a great time to explore your inner self and bring out those fundamental notions. Once you're clear on the values you hold, you must find ways to articulate them in a personal and unique way. This is what we refer to as finding your voice, because it's what allows others to see you as genuine and believable. But knowing your values isn't enough. You also have to use your voice to articulate and affirm the ideals you believe you share with others. As a result, you give voice to your group and help clarify what it stands for. Remember, there is no single list of personal values, just as there is not a wrong or right list of values. Everyone is different. So now that you're clear on your values, can articulate them to your organization, and have affirmed that each of you share some set of values, you have to walk the talk. This leads to the second commitment of Model the Way. Set the example by aligning actions and shared values. Earlier we mentioned that credibility begins by being clear on the values you hold and ends with aligning those actions and values. That's exactly what this commitment is all about, aligning your actions with your values. Think about video footage you've seen where the audio and video were out of sync. The result is unsettling and hard to follow, and it's a challenge to stay tuned in. The same is true of a leader who says he or she values one thing, but then acts in a way that indicates just the opposite. When you consistently align your values to the things you do, you maintain a sense of credibility with others. But if you say one thing and do another, it's very easy to lose credibility in the eyes of others, and once lost, is very difficult to regain. So, what does credibility look like behaviorally? Here's an acronym to answer that question. DWY-SW-YD. Do what you say you will do. It's the cornerstone of credibility and is at the heart of Model the Way. Understanding the main ideas that make up the practice of Model the Way is a great start, but remember, the goal is to move into action. So here are 6 strategies to help you model the way more often. First, talk about the values and principles that guide your actions. Second, set a personal example of what you expect from other people. Third, follow through on the promises and commitments you make. Fourth, seek to understand how your actions affect other people's performance. Fifth, spend time making sure that people behave consistently with the principles and standards everyone has agreed upon. And finally, make sure everyone in your group supports the shared values. Excellence in anything requires practice, and leadership is no different. Make time each day to be intentional about improving in the behaviors that can help you model the way more often. To help you along your journey, check out your Northwest Online eCompanion site or visit www.studentleadershipchallenge.com. Here you will find numerous daily and weekly actions to help you challenge yourself to model the way more often. There are also numerous activities and other resources to help you better understand and demonstrate the behaviors of this practice. Thanks for watching this learning module of the Student Leadership Challenge Essentials for New Professionals. Until next time, stay excellent.